And we are now live. What's going on, fellow DFSers, fellow NFL fans? What's going on? You're listening / watching the No Limit Fantasy Sports Podcast, and I'm your host, Hussein the Brain. Want to shout out to the person that gave me their Disney Plus login, and want to shout out this main slate, Week 12 DFS. Crazy slate, lots of craziness going on. Lots of randomness will probably happen. I don't know why, but I love that for GPP. I feel like I can find that diamond in the rough, that crazy, bold pick that no one else is going to pick, and I feel like I'm going to win. Is that so bad? Is that so bad to think that? My picks were okay last week. Let's see how I do this week. And by the way, guys, the audio podcast is available on all the main podcast platforms. We're also going live on the No Limit Coin, No Limit Fantasy Sports channel on YouTube if you want to join the fun live. I think it's my opinion. Fair assumption to say it's more fun live. We have Ricky in the building. What's up, man? What's going on? Welcome back to this live stream. So, Baby Yoda, everyone. This was my plan, right? I was going to watch Mandalorian after the football season was over when I had time, but I am somewhat of a meme connoisseur here, huge Star Wars fan, and I've been seeing too many memes of these characters. I don't know what's going on. Don't worry, I won't spoil Mandalorian for anybody. And I was like, dude, I got to start watching this before it's too late. And I didn't even know that Disney Plus releases it once a week. It's not like Netflix. So I'm like, oh, I won't even be behind at all. Plus, I'm going to go see the new Star Wars movie, and I got to get caught up on this. So I'm all caught up, and I love the Baby Yoda memes. And so here's a meme right here that I made. You can probably tell that I made it. So OG Yoda, old Yoda, is saying, start a running back at flex. And then Baby Yoda is saying, start a wide receiver at flex. And so what do you guys think? Because I actually have some data. I've done my own research, and I've read a lot of books of research that other people did. Actually, I'm going to simplify it in terms of DFS. I actually made this meme for, season-long leagues, which is actually not as important. But in DFS, it actually is very important. And so I'm going to put it like this. If you want to increase your risk for a GPP, I would go with a wide receiver at flex. Now, I am guilty playing it a little bit safe and going with a running back I like. And it's actually not really worked out because the wide receivers are more risky. They're more up and down. A wide receiver can get you 5, 6, 7 fantasy points, or just blow up and get you 30 fantasy points, while a running back is going to be that nice steady, giving you 17 fantasy points every game. So yeah, it's real science. In DFS, you want to start a running back at flex if you're in cash more times than not. And in a GPP, you want to start a wide receiver at flex. I have started a tight end at flex. Most of the time that completely backfires on you, but when it works out, oh boy, does it work out, because nobody else does that. And so if you do have top 2 tight ends in the tight end spot and at flex that absolutely go off, a tight end gets you that 30 fantasy points. No one else is going to have a lineup where they have 2 tight ends, and so that does work. When it works great. Most of the time it doesn't work, and it does kill your lineup. So fair warning on that. That's a bit too bold. But yeah, there is science and data to back that up. Let's talk Christian McCaffrey. I think he should be the number one topic as far as this week's DFS goes. I mean, really, yeah, this week's DFS. So, here's an article. It says Panthers Christian McCaffrey passes LaDainian Tomlinson for the most receptions by running back in the first 3 seasons. That's freaking crazy. That's incredible. And so, I mean, the season's not even over, and Christian McCaffrey is on pace to be one of the best fantasy players ever. He's on his way to have a legendary fantasy season. He's putting up points at such a high rate. It's pretty remarkable, pretty unbelievable. Can he handle the workload? I think for this year, yeah, but let's see what happens afterwards. And so Christian McCaffrey this week is 10,500. That's an insane price. That's 1,200 more than Michael Thomas. It's 2,300 more than the next highest price running back, Alvin Kamara. And so I just wanted to break some quick math to you guys right here. Jutsu, I see you. What's up, man? Jutsu's in the building. So, this is why you tune into this podcast, for expert analysis, modules, projections, and high-tech math equations. And, you won't find this type of analysis anywhere else, guys. Christian McCaffrey is priced at 10,500. And so do you pick him or not? This week, I'm going more so not. Look, if I'm entering 100 lineups, I'll probably have Christian McCaffrey in some. Don't get me wrong. But I'm probably not entering 100 lineups this week either. So, more so trending. I'm leaning more towards not picking McCaffrey. Okay. And here's why. Alvin Kamara, who's projected to be a top 3 running back this week, he's priced at 8,200. That's 78% the price of Christian McCaffrey. So if he puts up 80% of the fantasy points McCaffrey does, then you know that you should have picked Kamara over McCaffrey, because you're saving 2,300 in salary cap. That's insane. And here's one of my favorite picks, Le'Veon Bell this week. I don't like him because he doesn't. He's pretty consistent. He always gets you 17 fantasy points, but the price is very attractive. He's playing the Raiders, so the matchup is okay. And the Raiders do grind out the clock, though. They run very well, so that's a little bit worrisome how their offense operates. And but here's the math. Okay, so Bell is $6,400 in salary cap, and that's 60% of what McCaffrey's price. And that means that if McCaffrey puts up, let's say, 30 fantasy points, okay, just as an example, that means that Bell would put up 18 fantasy points, and that would be exactly the same value. So yes, Christian McCaffrey is almost twice as expensive as Le'Veon Bell. Ricky says, I like Kamara a lot. He says, what about Saquon? That's right. What's Saquon priced at? He's right around where, he's actually fairly cheap. So Saquon 7,900, and let's do the math here. Let's take out my calculator app. So Saquon is 7,900 divided by 10,500. That comes out to 75%. And so that's pretty good. Oops. I honestly have never used this. Saquon is 7,900. And so that's actually 75.2% of the price. And so that's pretty good. So if McCaffrey gets, let's say, 20 fantasy points, then Saquon would need to get, I love doing math on the spot, 15 fantasy points. Yeah, so it's very doable. Jalen Samuels is not a lock. Definitely not, because of his price. So I'm actually telling everyone to start Jalen Samuels in season long. He's going to do well. He's a great start in season long, but in DFS, and by the way, we're looking at NoLimitFantasySports.com, which is the same exact salary cap pricing as DraftKings. Just much easier to win on this site, though. So, and lots of free rolls on this site. So I highly recommend you guys try it out. So Jalen Samuels priced at 7,200. He's more expensive than Derrick Henry, more expensive than Chris Carson, more expensive than Le'Veon Bell, Joe Mixon, David Montgomery. So he's very expensive. What is he though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 9th most expensive running back on the main slate, and that's if you're including James Conner. So really number 8. And so, yeah, I don't see a big difference between Jalen Samuels and Josh Jacobs. Matter of fact, I'd rather have Josh Jacobs, who's 200 more. So definitely not, man. He's definitely not a lock because of his price. Now, he used to be priced around 5,000, 6,000 range. So if he was priced right around where we see Montgomery, Singletary, James White, Kareem Hunt, right here, priced at 5,000, yeah, I'd definitely go for it. But look at that. Miles Sanders priced at 5,000. Why not go with Miles Sanders over Jalen Samuels? Like, how does that make any sense, right? And they're also missing Pouncey, who's suspended. He's a pretty good center, so a little shuffle in the offensive line. Low scoring game. Also, Benny Snell is back from injury, so he's far from a sure thing. And yeah, these are the two guys. I really like Le'Veon Bell. My only real knock on him is that he doesn't give you that high, he's not up and down and doesn't give you those huge fantasy points that we do need for GPP. But like we were saying, 18 fantasy points is pretty good. And so if he can get in the end zone and get some extra receptions, he's going to need to do better, which is tough for a guy like Bell who hasn't been that good this year. Boom, that's going to be great. So I think the target, we want to get like 20, 21, 22. Let's just say 22 fantasy points from Le'Veon Bell going against the Raiders. That'll be sufficient for GPP. Crowder, I like him. He's more of a cash game play for sure. Yeah, of course. Let's go to my picks. No name in the building. I haven't seen you before. Tevin Coleman or Jalen Samuels as flex and half PPR. Want a solid floor. Well, you're going to go with Jalen Samuels here. Go with Jalen Samuels since at least it's half PPR. He's going to get you that floor you've been looking for, you've been searching for your whole life, going against the Bungles. They haven't won a game. Go with Jalen Samuels, man, definitely. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've said all my analysis for Jalen Samuels. Don't love the price. That's really it. I'm not saying that he's terrible. I didn't say he's a terrible pick either. I'm just saying he's okay. Jalen Samuels, 7,200. Le'Veon Bell, 6,400. I'm going with Le'Veon Bell. Why not? Le'Veon Bell's a better running back. Higher scoring game. Why not go with Le'Veon Bell? You say he's gonna get a lot of receptions. Would you be shocked if Le'Veon Bell got more receptions than Jalen Samuels? I wouldn't. I project him to have about the same amount of receptions, matter of fact. And I can bring up my projections right here. So, yeah, I project Bell to have about 5 receptions and Samuels to have about 5 receptions. So I think they'll have the same exact amount of projections, Le'Veon Bell and Jalen Samuels. What else we got? What do we got here? All right. I love Matt Ryan, of course. Well, I feel like did we talk about all the topics? Yeah, we talked about Baby Yoda. We talked about Mandalorian's awesome, by the way. Talked about Christian McCaffrey. Talked about McCaffrey's price. Very expensive. So, yeah, let's go into my picks. You're welcome, No Name. What do we got here? All right. So, Russell Wilson, the elite. Wilson, Ryan, Breeze, and Winston, Jameis Winston. I like Matt Ryan the most. Those other guys are excellent as well. You know what I hate about Drew Brees is this Taysom Hill project. Like, he's a legitimate vulture. He throws the ball to Mike Thomas. He gets, receiving touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, third down snaps. Like, it's pretty annoying when you have a Hall of Fame quarterback in Drew Brees, like insta Hall of Famer. And then you have a legitimate vulture. It's so rare that you have a quarterback vulture. Taysom Hill is a really good athlete. He works, but I'm just saying it's annoying for fantasy. And yeah, I like Jameis Winston as a risky pick, but Matt Ryan is my number one projected quarterback. This is the main slate, so the only reason why I don't have Lamar Jackson projected number one is because he's not in the main slate. So those are the main guys right there. Out of the elite, Matt Ryan's my favorite. Then when it come Russell Wilson, and then Breeze and Winston. Breeze, of course, higher floor. Jameis Winston, higher ceiling. Jameis Winston throws he has a lot of 300-yard games, but he also gets a lot of 3-interception type games too. Man, this guy's throwing so many interceptions. I read someplace he has 18 interceptions. It was a meme, I'm not gonna lie, so I don't know how many interceptions he has. I think it's accurate. Yeah, 5. Jeez, he threw 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He does have 18 interceptions. I just counted. Wow. Man, this guy's out of control. 18 interceptions. Oh my God. That's insane. And as far as the cheaper quarterbacks, we have Carson Wentz, 5,600, going against the Seahawks. Jeff Driscoll, 5,500, going against Washington. Nick Foles, Super Bowl champ, Super Bowl MVP, 5,400, going against the tight ends in the slow-paced game. And then my favorite is Mitch Trubisky. Look, I'm not telling you to pick him unless you're in a big pool GPP or something, but I do think he'll do well against the Giants. Every team does. Giants pass defense just has that magic about them, man. They offer to do that. And for running backs, why another reason why I don't like Christian McCaffrey. It's not just the price. He's going up against the Saints. They're number 3 against the run, and they allow the fourth least fantasy points to the running back position. So they're great against the run, and they're great against running backs in fantasy. And I think the Saints are going to really, really focus on stopping Christian McCaffrey. And I think they will. So I'm going with my gut here that I think, let's say if Christian McCaffrey puts up 30 fantasy points, I don't think he will. I think Le'Veon Bell would put up more than 18. So I think he's going to return more than 6. He's going to get more than 60% of the fantasy points McCaffrey's going to get. Is it really 60? Yeah, he's 60% the price. So we just need 60% of the fantasy points to match the same value as McCaffrey. And those of you that play DFS know it's all about value. It's fantasy points per dollar. And Bell is only 60% of the price of McCaffrey. So he's going to return value. Kamara's great. I love him against the Panthers. Nick Chubb, not going to get all the touches we want. Very expensive. I'd like Saquon Barkley, 7,900, going against the Bears. Bears pass defense is legit. I mean, watching the Bears defense get introduced player by player, I'm like, man, these are all Pro Bowlers, man. These are all stars. Like, what's going on? It's a shame they don't have a quarterback. And it's a shame they don't have Akeem Hicks. And that's why I like Saquon Barkley, because they can't stop the run. Akeem Hicks is still out, right? Akeem Hicks, I think he returns week 15. Just going off memory here. I'm looking it up right now. So I think the earliest he can come back is week 15 or something like that. Let me see. Akeem Hicks. He is first eligible to return in Week 15 against the Packers. It appears he will do so. One of the top run stuffers in the entire NFL, 29-year-old Hicks, is signed through 2021. Yeah, so he's going to be out for the next 3 weeks. Man, that's bad for them. We talked about Jalen Samuels. So actually, I do have him as a pick. I like him. Just be wary of the price, though. And then Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, of course, you guys know I really like Le'Veon Bell at 6,400. Super cheap. Kalen Ballage at 4,400. Just got that gut feeling he's going to break one off for a big gain. And that's really what you need. You got to get lucky. He's got to break one off. But super cheap. I love him as a punt right there. Who's his backup? Laird. I honestly don't even know how to spell him. Patrick Laird. Where is he? I thought I just saw him. Oh, there he is. 3,400. Let's see. 6 receptions. Yeah, that's so bad. I'd rather go with Ballage. And for wide receivers, I'm really targeting this Bucks. Where is it? Right here. this Bucks Falcons game, highest scoring game of the slate. I love some Russell Gage. I love me some Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. Jameis Winston and his two receivers, Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. If I had to pick between these two, I'm gonna go with Godwin over Evans. But that's if I was hard pressed and had to pick between one of those two. I'm going with him. Chris Godwin for the win. Who else we got? Allen Robinson, great pick against the Giants. Calvin Ridley, of course, 6,500. I love Calvin Ridley this week. DJ Moore is one of my favorite GPP picks. I feel like he'll be contrarian. He's just going to be overlooked because look right below it, and we just had a small sample of evidence right here. Right below Jarvis, we have Jamison Crowder, and right above, and Jarvis Landry going against his former team, the Dolphins. And wait, where were we? Oh yeah, and then DK Metcalf right below him as well. Right above him, we have Allen Robinson and Calvin Ridley. Not going to take a genius to figure those out. DJ Moore was hot last week, won't be hot this week, and that's why I like him. I feel like he'll get a plus matchup against the Saints. We'll see which cornerback's defending him. Marshawn Lattimore, last I checked, is questionable. But even if he plays, he probably won't be shadowing DJ Moore. And so DJ Moore could get a lot of targets, especially if what I'm thinking is correct. And the Saints stack the box and absolutely focus on stopping Christian McCaffrey. 9 targets, 10 targets, 11 targets for DJ Moore. That's what I project he'll get. Ricky says, what do you think of Winston, Saquon, Kamara, OBJ, Ridley, Crowder, Ertz, Samuels? Is that Jalen Samuels? Yeah. And Washington defense for cash. Why'd you pick Washington defense? It must be cheap. That sounds good. I'm with that. I don't like Winston as a cash game quarterback though. Just not ideal. I like Matt Ryan as a cash game quarterback, but it's not bad. Like, we know he's going to throw the ball. We know he'll probably get 300 yards. Like, it's legit. So I like all those picks. I think you want to, it's pretty good. I'd say that's good. What's that Washington game looking like? Where is that? I can't even find it. Oh. Yeah, that's a pretty good lineup, man. It's not so bad. Yeah. I like it. Yeah, that is not so bad. Low scoring game. I guess the only thing you could really do to make, and I would probably keep it, but if you want to go down from save on Ertz to get yourself a better quarterback, you can do that. Other than that, I do like it. And you know me, I tell you how it is. If there's players I don't like, I'll tell you to blow up your entire lineup if I don't like it, man. But I do like that. So that's the only thing that I would consider. Not even telling you to do that. Maybe save on the tight end and then upgrade your quarterback. Odell is not the best cash game wide receiver. He has more upside. So yeah, maybe you want to go get Michael Thomas instead. I know how Ertz. You don't think I know how Ertz is doing? Maybe instead of Ertz, you get Goddard, and then instead of Odell, you could get Mike Thomas. So that's what I think. I think Mike Thomas is such a great cash game wide receiver. Anyhow, yeah, I like Goddard this week. I like him quite a bit. Goddard, probably half the price of Ertz. So it's not hate on Ertz. I just feel like maybe you might want to reallocate your tight end salary into a guy like Mike Thomas or a better quarterback. Yeah, that's about it though. And but I do like it. Odell is scary for cash. How are you not scared to have Odell in cash? What are we talking about? Wide receiver. Oh yeah, I like Mike Thomas. Some cheap option. I do like Jarvis as well. So some cheap options right here. Demarius at 3,800. This is a GPP, by the way. Don't pick him in cash. Allen Hurns for 3,300. I'll just say that's a punt. We're getting minimum price here. Where's N'Keal? N'Keal Harry, 3,300. That's super risky. But Sanu is not expected to play. And what's up with Dorsett and his concussion? Dorsett, Roto World. #1 leader in fantasy player news. Philip Dorsett, questionable concussion, has not been cleared to resume football activities. This all but rules out Dorsett for Sunday. It's bad news for the Patriots, who could also be without Mohamed Sanu. Just got word today. Sanu is unlikely to play, not expected to play. N'Keal Harry and Jacoby Myers will step into the 3 wide receiver sets if Dorsett and Sanu are out. Wow. That's crazy, man. So I guess Jacoby Myers also would be in play here. He's 3,000 minimum price. Let me add him to my list. Jacoby Myers. That's a gem. 3,000 minimum priced. Going against Dallas in Foxborough. Oh, yeah. We like that. We just found ourselves a gem, boys. All right. And Albert Wilson, 3,200. Right there. Surprised Jacoby Myers is so cheap. For tight ends, crapshoot. What's not a crapshoot this week? Zach Ertz is good for sure. I do like him. Probably be the #1 tight end in the main slate. Darren Waller, don't like him as much this week against the Jets. He's okay. I like Hollister at 4,300 if you want to save. Dallas Goedert, 3,700. Love him. Jonnu Smith by default with Delaney Walker going to be out. He's already ruled out. What else we got here? Vance McDonald, if you want to be risky, 3,500 going against the Bengals. Mike Gesicki, he's just really not that good. 34, but he'll get some targets. And TJ Hawkinson, 3,400. So yeah, I'm really sticking with, I like Goddard, I like Hollister, maybe a Jonnu Smith, something like that if I want to save. I don't know how risky I want to get going down here with Hawkinson or Mike Gesicki. Probably rather have McDonald. Yeah, so not too many good options. For defense, I like the Lions right here in the middle, 3,100. So Ricky's talking about Washington's defense. And it should be a low-scoring game. So that's why I like the Lions, their price. But the elite options are the Browns and Steelers. I like the Browns to score the most fantasy points this week, followed by the Steelers right up there. Of course, the Bears D is legit. Bills D, yeah, they're good. Falcons will, they'll get some turnovers, but a little risky, a little bit high-priced. And if you want to save, look at the Cowboys D, 2,300 going against Brady, who's questionable. And it looks like Sanu's going to be out. Dorsett's going to be out. That's going to give the Cowboys a big boost. And Bengals D going against the Steelers. Who else we got? And Dolphins D going against the Browns. I don't like the Dolphins D though. If I had to punt, I would go with the Bengals or Cowboys. I'm not going, and I'm probably not picking these guys either. I'm just saying, if you really, really were looking for a punt, look towards the Bengals or Cowboys. Yeah, and I'm not hating on Washington defense as a pick. So there you have it, guys. I think we've covered everything in the world, from Mandalorian to Christian McCaffrey to LT to injury news to advanced analytics and mathematics, projections and value, to my DFS picks for Week 12. I wish everyone good luck. It's a crazy slate. Anything can happen, and that's kind of why I like it for GPPs. I feel like I'm going to do really bad or really good this week. Wish me luck, too. And, guys, make sure you do head on over to NoLimitFantasySports.com to play in DFS. Lots of great free rolls, also in basketball as well. And are we doing the t-shirt again this week? Yes, we are. So we have our usual NFL touchdown GPP for $500 in prizes. On top of that, first place will win No Limit coin t-shirt. That's right. I'm dipped in No Limit coin gear right now. So make sure you do head on over to NoLimitFantasySports.com. I'll be playing there. Lots of fun, guys. That's it. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're on all the major platforms. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit that bell icon so you won't miss any future live streams. We're here every Saturday doing this. Hit this video with a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thumbs down if you didn't. Good luck this week, everybody. Peace.